Amplexus.
Embrace, increase, improve.
Hey guys, today we're on a private Minecraft server. It's fully vanilla, and it is amazing. I just recently got invited to it, a bunch of owners. It's been up for like 6 months to a year already, and it's an amazing server because let's just relate it to the ZipCrowd server. It's most like the ZipCrowd server, and if you're not familiar with the ZipCrowd server, basically very technical. And if you're gonna do something, you better have it fully automated and upscaled to ridiculous quantities so that you'll never need it again. That's pretty much the gist. For example, logged on, Iron Foundry, walked over here and was like, oh, look at this, it's a obsidian farm. Of course it is. And when they said they were going to make an obsidian farm, I went away on vacation, came back, they definitely made an obsidian farm. Anyways, this is Spawn Chunks. Pretty interesting tree farm over there. I'm just going to give probably a little quick tour about what's going on the server, and then we're going to start our recent project, which you may or may not guess already has to do with food. Basically, there's no food on the server. Like, there's an AFK fish farm at a certain location that I'll show you later, but other than that, there's really not anything. And so I just kind of started off a little quick farm over there just to get myself kick-started, but I currently hasn't produced anything. So I have a little bit of cooked fish. Right now we're in a little kind of rented out house kind of thing, which I took for granted now that I'm first starting. Basically, some other user decided to create this in case any new users came on, which I did, and it's great because I don't have to throw together a really ugly shack until I kind of get my bearings. Alright guys, so I'm going to stop the server tour here. Basically, I've received word from the admin that he has his very own channel, and pretty much the plan is we're going to release server tours every once in a while. And so he's going to kind of be the main head host of all this. He's going to be releasing on his channel. His channel name will appear on the screen currently, and basically, if you want to see anything of the rest of the server that I'm not currently building or will build in the future, you need to see on the server tour. So if you want to go to that now. Basically, there's going to be tons of stuff on that. Besides the Iron Foundry that you can see here, which is probably the biggest project, and the Obsidian Farm, which I kind of leaked the profits from, there's also going to be hopefully a bunch of other farms such as the Ender, the Witch Farm, and Zombie Grinder, Spider Grinder, ridiculous amounts of stuff and cool builds. I can't even go into it. I'm not allowed to say a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, basically that's the plan. If you want to see any of that, check out the channel that's on the screen right now, and we shall continue with our progress. So, for my food that I decided to try and farm for the server, I wanted to do something a little bit different. You can do like a cow farm or an animal type farm, which is great, but I wanted to do something different, something that's still a good food, as good as steak, but requires more parts and requires something that's a little more fun to build, as well as something that's different that a lot of people don't eat in Minecraft. So what was a food that people do not eat much? And so I came to pumpkin pie. Pretty much, you need sugarcane, pumpkins, and eggs, all things that are easily farmable and have been perfected over and over and over again. I'm not necessarily going to do the most efficient, the fastest, or the best ways. I just kind of want to throw something together that's a little bit smaller, compact, and allows me every time I need some food just to hop over and grab some pumpkin pie just as something else. And I'll probably also end up making some other animal farms too, just as a constant food source. We'll see how efficient I want to make this and how big I want to do it. Anyways, I think the first step, we need to make all of the farms in a pretty close proximity and kind of end up deciding how big they want to be and everything. And after that, I think then I'll make a building kind of surrounding it, and that'll be kind of that. That way I can not have to worry about making the building too big or too small or whatever. I can just make it to perfectly fit the farm. So I think what the plan is it's going to be a building which is designed where all the items, so we need eggs, pumpkins, and sugarcane, all of that are going to be dispensed onto the player, and if the player doesn't pick them up, they'll just go into a hopper, back up an item elevator, and then drop back down again in a big loop. That way, if the player needs to actually craft it, they can just hop underneath the plethora of items falling down, and if they don't, then, well, they just kind of stand out of the way and grab some pre-crafted ones from the chest or something. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this here. I got a record last night, so that happened. Alright, so I think the obvious place to start off with is go for the easy stuff first and work your way to the harder things. So, in my opinion, the easiest thing to farm by far is the eggs. You pretty much plop down a hopper. So I'm just going to go on total guesswork, and I may end up having to tear this all down eventually. And I'm going to put the chicken coop up here. Can I ender pearl perfectly onto this? Watch this. Watch this. Check it, check it, check it. Aha! Look at that. Alright, so this is going to take a bit. So I'm going to estimate there's about 25 chickens in that coop right now. So that's good enough for now. I don't want to create too many entities on the server because it is not the beefiest of servers. And so we don't want to cause lag for everybody. That's not fair. Nor is it fun for me either. So, yeah, limit the lag if possible. We're about to run out of fish, so we better finish this farm soon. I think it's time that we go and create some pistons. That way we can create both the pumpkin and the sugarcane farm rather quickly, I think. There's not going to be any more resources I'll need. So let me go get that, and I shall be back. So pretty much what we have here is the standard design for a sugarcane farm that's automated. It's just a simple segment. Basically, pistons in the back break the top two sugarcane growth, so basically the bottom one is left to regrow, and you're all good. It'll be pushed down either a chute, or I guess it'll probably be left on the ground here, and we're going to run hopper mine carts underneath the two blocks. Derp. Derp. Uh-oh. Crap. Okay, so we have this thing finished. Let's test it out. If we just flick this lever, some of the sugarcane will fall out because the piston heads did not retract fast enough, but we'll have a shorter pulse. It's sucked away. Yes, it is. Down into the hopper minecarts that's below, except I didn't block that side off, but those would have been in this chest too. And success! We have the sugarcane there. Alright, so time to work on some more stuff. Alright, so this is what we have so far. Pretty much, this is where the eggs were, as you can see, and we still have the same sugarcane here. So let me try and explain to you what's going on. So pretty much, there's two layers here, as you can see, one up here, one down here. There's a total of 18 sugarcane, so not very much, but you don't need that many, I guess. I don't need to be the most efficient. And basically, there's a hopper timer over here that will trigger every so often. It's kind of slow, but almost not slow enough even. I'd rather give it more time to grow, but I'll play around with the timing later. And basically, every time that pulses, we have a monostable, so it just pulses the piston, and it breaks any of the sugarcane that's here. It then falls on the ground, and underneath both this row and the row on the sugarcane is a hopper minecart. So let's see if we can get down there. Yeah. And so pretty much it'll go around picking it up and then deposit it into these hoppers. And once it puts it into these hoppers, it will put it into an item elevator over there, which we can see if we hop over here, I think. Yeah. So the item elevator, it goes up and into a chest right now. We'll have it hook up with both of these things and do something cool later, but for right now, that's what it does. And then there's also a minecart running underneath, just back and forth, underneath the second layer of sugarcane, which just drops down and runs into the item elevator also. So that's pretty much it. We can go ahead and look from the top. Right now, there's just 3 sugarcane in there. It's really not that efficient right now, and it's also being buggy. I've discovered some bugs in 1.7 where the hopper minecart cannot pick up items if it's on certain parts of the block. Anyways, there's nothing I can do about that, but this is pretty much what I have so far. So now I think it's time we move on to the melons. Well, guys, taking a break from the pumpkin pie farm here for a bit. Another server member, just for the time being, before we get a bunch of pie and other types of foods and stuff that I've been making, he threw together a really cool chicken farm of his own design, which, as you can see, is producing. Obviously, it's in the spawn chunks, so it's on the whole time, and this is the collections of approximately 24 hours, I'd say. So it's not the quickest possible thing, but it's all we could possibly really need. The bad thing is, chicken, if you didn't know, only heals 3 meat pops, or whatever you want to call them. Which, unlike the other meats, along with pumpkin pie, those all give you 4. So, it's not the best. I don't even know, like what the other stats of it are. But as you can see, I created kind of an outside shell for it, which apparently Abysmally Perfect approves of, which is good, because he is the server owner, so that wouldn't be so good if he didn't like it. So anyways, we're going to hop on over really quickly to the farm and look at what I have done so far, because I have spent a lot longer than I thought I would at this thing. But I believe pretty much all of the functionality is now there. There might be some tweaking I have to do, but a lot was done. Let's just say that. A lot was done. We can pop down here a little bit later, but let's go ahead and tour through. I don't even remember what I had accomplished last time. But anyways, we have the sugarcane. We have the chickens. I added the melon farm, which you can see there. It's basically kind of an almost tileable design by a certain YouTuber, and of which I can post their name on the screen now because I completely forgot. And it's just a design I've used in the past, and so pretty much there are hopper mine carts running along this line to pick up the pumpkins, but there's some glitches going on, so they're not picking them up right now. Hopefully that's fixed. I don't know. On this line I have hoppers, and it's a pretty simple tileable design. It's every time there is a pumpkin that grows, it immediately breaks it, carries it along through a bunch of pipes and stuff. Let's see if I can get to it from here. I believe I could go down this way. So it carries it all down. This one's open. You can see there's hopper minecarts in both of these instead of hoppers. It's going to bring them all around this way and into an item elevator, which literally leads to the bottom of the other item elevator on top. And so if we can pop over to that item elevator, somehow, I guess I got to go back through this way. If we look at that item elevator, that is what's bringing up both the sugarcane and the pumpkins. So the pumpkins and the sugarcane merge right at this dropper right there. You can barely see it. And it's just a simple design that was showcased by Mumbo Jumbo. If you want to look up item elevators by Mumbo Jumbo, this is just a simple one, just because I remembered how to do it. It carries both the pumpkins and the sugarcane up into a buffer chest, over, down, through some hoppers, and into storage chests. So yeah. The eggs are pretty simple. It's literally just hoppers with some buffer chests into these storage chests as well. Oh, my skin's back. It wasn't there for a long time. So, you may be wondering what this dropper thing here is. Basically, it's a crafting station where you stand there, you flick the lever, it will allow items to go into the droppers, dispense you a bunch of stuff so that you can basically AFK for a little bit, get all the stuff in your inventory, and then craft it. You got the sugar, you got the pumpkins, you got the eggs, and you're all good to go. So now what's left to do is pretty much cover it all up, add some storage chests for both just crafted sugar as well as final pie products. But I'm going to actually go and hop over to the witch farm. If you didn't know, witches actually drop sugar, and so as you can see, it's only 1/3 full. There's over a double chest here. I don't even know what the scaling is on the measurement of this thing, but I figured let's take some home. let's take some back to the place. We'll just make a few trips using our ender chest once I empty the ender pearls, and then we'll have a bunch of sugar there, so we don't have to manually collect sugarcane or wait for the sugarcane to grow and break. We'll just have a bunch, and to be honest, I don't think anyone's ever going to use any of the sugar here anyways, so it actually makes a good use for it. So anyways, that's pretty much all I've got time for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. It's the first one that I've made. It's the first legitimate attempt at a Let's Play series, so we'll see how long this lasts. This may be an only episode. There may be 500 more. We'll see. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, a rating would be much appreciated. And even if you didn't enjoy, just give me your feedback. If it's bad feedback, I'll take it. I just want to know what you think of it. Any suggestions this series, let me know. I'm going to try and keep all the episodes shorter than what people normally do in Let's Plays. Not just because of the time constraints for me, but also because I find them a lot more interesting if you just do one thing, you get it done, and then that's the end of the episode. I don't want people walking around and doing all this crazy stuff that takes forever. I want a short and sweet kind of thing. So that's what I'm aiming at. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Are you kidding me? No chest. Seriously, I mean, come on.